Yo, Lil Wayne has been at it for a hot minute with these dreadlocks, and he's definitely been a big inspiration over the years, even for myself to get into the dreadlock game and millions of others as well. And lately, he's still been holding it down, definitely rocking these locks until the wheels fall off. And within this new music video, Hallelujah Heaven, he's definitely showing us how he's rocking his hair today. Now, where we left off with his dreadlock journey, Lil Wayne is definitely going on that balder side of things, especially in that frontal lobe. The bleach has definitely played a role in kind of drying out and breaking off his hair. And as we can see in these video clips, he's got kind of like a dreadlock comb over going on for this video shoot. Now, I chose this video clip for this dreadlock review because I definitely noticed a bobby pin holding his dreadlock comb over in place for this shot, because he is in a moving vehicle and his hair is actually like rather still. I've never really seen somebody pull off a comb over like this, and I do notice that those dreadlocks in that comb over are cut pretty short into like a bang shaped or a bang length. And actually in entirety, a lot of his locks have been trimmed down to just about chest length or collarbone length at this point as well. Personally, I can never see Wayne with any other hairstyle but dreadlocks these days. I know he came from the braided look eons ago, but nowadays I'm just happy that he's still holding on to his roots here. Like I said before, Wayne's been a huge inspiration for many of us to grow dreadlocks, and it's great and fantastic to see that he's still on his journey nice and strong. I mean, sure, he could hold back on the bleach and the chemicals a little bit, because truthfully, I don't really think that blonde dreadlocks look all that enticing when they're artificially done anyways. Now, a lot of people say, oh, if you're white and you have dreadlock, it's cultural appropriation. But let me ask you this, if you're black and have blonde hair, is that cultural appropriation? Obviously not, and same goes with the latter as well. Now, it's going to be interesting to see where Lil Wayne takes his dreadlock journey over the next few years. Personally, I like the length that he's keeping them at right now, probably the most optimal length that one can have when on a dreadlock journey. They just seem to be a bit more out of the way and easier to maintain at this point. But truth be told, I do want to see what his forehead is looking like without that comb over happening. I must say, a lot of those locks on that dreadlock comb over do look a bit curated, manipulated, almost like they've been crocheted to be formed in that way. They kind of look too round to be true. So there is a possibility that it could be extensions put in. It could be synthetic hair added to those locks. It looks like it could be crocheted. There is that one dreadlock at the back of the bang that is like a copper tone and not all the way bleached blonde. And I'm just realizing this is the shortest we've seen Lil Wayne's dreads in decades. Now, if you look on the right side of his head, we can see one Congo is kind of two dreads going into one. Definitely has been trimmed as of recently. But I remember those days when Lil Wayne was producing the Drought 3 and he had locks down his back like Rapunzel. Even in those days of like the Lollipop videos when his locks were really long, very plentiful as well. The dude's come a long way on this journey, and all in all, it's just probably only his second dreadlock journey, because the first set was twisted locks, traditional locks, and now he's going with these freeform or semi-freeform locks for his second set. So whoever's Lil Wayne stylist is at this point, I would have recommended not trimming those banged locks so short like that. They just kind of fall kind of awkwardly where they're at in this stage. Usually the awkward stage of dreadlocks is in like the first 6 months to 2 years, but even decades down the road, it shows that you can still have an awkward stage if you manipulate them into the wrong way. Which is kind of why I said these might be semi-freeforms at this point. Looks like he does have some work being done. And at the same point, if one is bleaching and coloring their hair, that is technically altering the formation of them. So it would kind of bring them to that semi category. One thing I know for sure is that the locks that he's got on the back of his head are definitely going to be the strongest and the longest for the years to come. It's always the last part if it ever does end up falling out or balding, but most people that go bald never actually really lose the hair on the back of their head and the sides for some reason. It's always just male pattern baldness on the very top.